Greetings and welcome back, blade lovers. This old sword with you, with something new as I have promised. Little mic adjustment there. Okay. This is brandy new, only found it on White Mountain Knives as of this recording. And this video should drop on April 30th. So as of that date, I don't believe it is available anywhere else. Could be wrong. Stand to be corrected. This is the Hazakura by Kansept Knives. Give you a gander at the label. And this is a Max Tkachuk design. There's your model number. This one happens to be they call it a twill carbon fiber. It's kind of a marbled carbon fiber. And I think it's a great job looking at the handle. It is a front flipper. It has a traditionally styled Tanto blade with a swedge at the top. It reminds me of the old Cold Steel Outdoorsman, if you're familiar with that knife. And again, designer's Max Tkachuk. This is of 154 cm steel. And for the occasion, I put it on some rice paper today, kind of a Japanese looking thing. The translation for Hazakura, let me make sure I got that name correct. Yep, Hazakura is cherry tree leaf. And I believe when you look it up, it also, there's some reference to maybe some hentai characters and that sort of thing, because those names get reused, and Max might like to use those references. I'm not sure. At any rate, the literal translation is cherry tree leaf. Anytime I see a foreign sounding name, I like to try to get the meaning of it and share that with you. Okay. And we're going to do our own measurements today. I'm going to back out just a little bit. Before we're done, we're going to show you another recently designed Max Tkachuk knife for Kansept for a little bit of side-by-side comparison. But let's check this out first. Some really excellent carbon fiber. Look at that. If that's in focus, I believe it is. Try to get a little light on there for you. What happens is that the final video shows a lot more detail than I'm often able to see through the viewfinder, so I just want to make sure that that does end up in the final cut. But look at that interesting swedge on the top. It's a really nice, I'd say a fine bead blast finish. It is not satin, near as I can tell. And look at the reinforcement that you have on the tip versus the swedge. Very grippy, nice jimping, good long run of it. Wide open in the back, runs on bearings. There is weight relieving, as you can see in the holes there. I don't need to shine a light. A little bit of weight relieving on the liner side as well. Very light knife. There's your slotted lanyard hole. Very few screws, just at the pommel end of the knife. And it is an internal or hidden liner lock. Very smooth action. Front flipper, in case I hadn't mentioned that. So in good keeping with a few of Max's other knives, he likes front flipper designs. Clip is milled titanium, very nice modern look. Fitting, I think, for the knife. All right, so let's find the tape measure first. and we might be able to do a few measurements. I found it. This table's getting kind of junked up. Time to organize a little bit again. 8 1/8. We're going to call it. Not quite 8 1/4 overall. Blade length 3 and I'm going to call it about 5/8. Cutting edge roughly the same, 3 5/8. So I think they're calling the length 3.54 in the specs I've seen. As far as blade stock goes, if I take a bite of it right there, it's a flat 3 millimeters. And then switching to inches, the handle is a slender 0.44 inches. Very nice. And all we need to do is get a weight. And we'll have our basic measurements. 2.535. How about that? 2.5 ounces, right? That's an amazingly light knife. Why? Because it's mostly carbon fiber. Well, there are steel inserts, but they're probably pretty thin. But a light knife for its size, a little over 8 inches and 2.5 ounces. Max is doing some great designs in concert with Kansept and, of course, Tucson and other companies. Let's take a look at another recent front flipper from Max. And this was based on the Prickle. Just about the same size. And it's the Lucky Star. Darned if I can remember all these names, but it is dead on the same length, but far thinner top to bottom. And has a little weight relieving right in the blade there, and what a crazy blade it is. You can check out my review on this one, the Kansept Lucky Star. Action on this one, the Hazakura, is very nice. You can almost get it to drop shut, and it's a relatively light blade. Look at that completely hidden blade when it's closed. You definitely aren't going to pick up the tip of that blade accidentally, and you don't see any blade at all other than what's showing through the cutout for the lock release. Pretty minimalist flipper tab. Doesn't stick out like a big shelf like some, and yet you can catch it quite easily. Let's take a quick look at it next to one of the usuals. Here we have the Griptilian. Griptilian is ever so slightly, is it? Nope, it's dead on as well. Looking straight overhead, I'm seeing that we got the same length. And of course, the bigger knife here, the Rat 1, is going to be bigger. Blades are, well, we know the Rat 1's got a longer blade, so I'm going to say it's slightly longer. Handle's bigger for sure. So the Hazakura by Kansept Knives, designed by Max Tkachuk, 154 cm steel. And there's your maker mark. Max's skull and crossbones. Really neat, super lightweight knife. You could definitely EDC this. Very useful blade profile. Nice forward belly. and plenty of straight edge there, and pretty refined edge, I would say. Let me know what you think. I believe I've hit all of the salient points here. If you like this review, please give it a like. I would appreciate that. Feel free to offer any comments that are positive and constructive. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This Old Sword, signing out.